What is up, fans? I'm your host, Alex Kramer, and I'd like to welcome you back to the newest episode of A Great Podcast. Not the greatest pod on turf.
No.
Just regular A Great Podcast. We hope that you guys had a marvelous weekend. Hope you liked all the content last week, all the clips we've been posting on YouTube. Make sure to like, subscribe, download, comment, review, everything that you can do to help us succeed in this podcast game. But the one thing that we love is when you bounce over to YouTube and you interact with us, because that is the easiest way for us to interact with you. So get on over to our YouTube for all the best content. Kiernan's up. What up, Kiernan? You're here, brother. What is up?
I'm up. I'm all up like Young Thug back in 2015. Great album cover. But let me basically start the show by saying this, man. Pretty much what Kramer was saying. You got to do all that, and you got to understand that G-Pot equals greatest pot on turf, which is sports only. So if you don't like sports, don't click them. You might as well click them, right? Because you might like what we say no matter what. Maybe we can get you into sports. NFL is done. We're going to talk about how the next pot out. NFL is completely horrible. It's so boring, but we're not going to worry about that right now. What we do need to worry about is there's a bunch of shit now. Me and Kramer, we've talked a lot on this podcast about a lot of controversial subjects maybe and a lot of stuff that people want to hear. We're trying to help the people. But this topic, we're going to get into some more supernatural, crazy, trippy shit. And I want to ask Kramer, man, you take a look at human beings on this earth, and it's kind of crazy how we're like pretty much perfectly designed into this universe, and this universe is designed for us. There's colors that exist. And actually, one of my boys told me colors don't really exist. Basically, we're interpreting them. And I just saw another thing that scientists have basically proved that the universe isn't even real. So let me ask you, dude, what do you even think humans are? Where do we come from?
No idea.
You have no clue?
No, neither do you, bro.
Do you believe in the evolution theory?
Yeah, yeah.
You do believe in that?
Yeah, we definitely.
So you believe we just happen to be this floating rock in the middle of space, and then all of a sudden, here's something that I think could have happened, right? I think we have this thing. There's so many planets out there, and this one planet has this thing, and then something from space crashed into water, and then a chemical reaction formed, and then plants started to grow, and that like a sentient plant, because plants are alive. Like plants can feel shit, man. They grow and they know how to live, man. They're all alive. So I'm wondering, is that the same for us? Are we just like some space shit that collided with the water, and the water happened to like sprout us?
No shot.
What do you think?
Evolution. We somehow, the Big Bang happened, all that bullshit happened, and dude, before us there were dinosaurs.
So yeah, but I'm saying like, how did?
There's
I'm
always
not even
been
saying
life.
humans, like just life in general.
It just appeared.
It just appeared.
It was made this way. No one knows. No one will ever know the answers to those questions.
Yeah, we will, because the brain is a mushroom, I feel like, and I feel like we're just like the most advanced form of mushroom.
Yeah, but but there's no way for us to know that or ever go back in time to know that.
Right,
How will we ever figure that out?
But it could be religion. It could be God.
No, that's fake.
It could be
There's
true.
No way. Yeah, but every religion is different.
One of them has to be right, you'd figure, because there's no way that this shit just happened.
We talked about this on the show. It's all just to make people feel better about themselves.
So there is no God.
We can't definitively argue. I can't definitively give you an answer.
Well, people have this stupid thing.
There could be a God. There could be a God, but there's no point in praying to him, I don't think.
Wow.
Because if there is a God, I don't believe he's out here listening to each and every one of us like we think. He just made this place, Like
Santa Claus. There's no way Santa Claus gets all these lists.
No, and there's no way that he actually like makes decisions on every little thing, you know what I mean? There's just no way. I think that there's a I don't know. Scientists have tried to tell us that it's the Big Bang, and then all that shit happened. That's how the dinosaurs went extinct, and then from there we evolved from apes, which I think if you go back in time and look into apes, we do share a lot of the characteristics that apes
called simian.
Huh?
It's called simian.
Yeah, we share a lot of those things that the apes have. So I think that the most logical and the thing that would make the most sense is that somehow animals were on this earth and just evolve, and we just evolved into a super
Advanced thing.
advanced, intelligent species of apes.
I have two theories. I have
But
three.
if you look at it, if you think about it, certain people,
What?
certain, I don't know how to say this the correct way.
What do you? Come on, say it.
Certain people, not dependent on color or anything like that,
Here
or
we
skin.
go. Here we
But
go.
certain people may resemble apes more than others.
You're saying black people look like apes?
No.
That's pretty much what you just said.
No, I said not dependent on skin. I said
Some
not
people are just
dependent on
hairier.
skin, just dependent on facial structure. Some people's facial
Kramer
structure.
is racist, exposed on a great
Kieran,
podcast.
bro,
Tell your
that's not what I'm
friends.
saying, bro. Shut
Look,
up.
bro, can I say something
No,
real
you
quick?
can't.
Why
Facial,
not?
no,
Why?
I can't
I let you
cancel
go
for
on a
this.
huge rant. Then.
Facial structure, not color of skin. Some facial structures resemble apes more than others.
All right, I
And
hear
it
you.
could be a white person, it could be a black person, could be an Indian person, could be any type of person, but certain facial structures resemble apes more than others, which then makes me think, are certain humans more advanced than others because of
Yes.
the bloodlines, and those bloodlines haven't evolved that far from apes, and certain have. You know what I mean?
Let me tell you this, brother. There's three theories I got. I forget I had two of them, but you just went on for so long I can't remember the third one. Here's the first one. Oh, I do it. Okay, here's the two that I got. They say, okay, oh no, there's three things I want to say real quick. They're not long things. Here's the first thing. The paradox that disproves the theory of God is that you have um, a rock. Can God create a rock so big that even he can't move it? If you answer to that is yes, then it's proof God doesn't exist because at least an omnipotent God, because if he's able to create that rock that he can't move, then he can't move the rock, thus proving he can't do everything, not omnipotent. If he can't create that rock, that again proves he can't do anything because he can't create the rock. So that pretty much proves there is no omnipotent God, I guess, in this universe, but maybe the laws of the universe don't work for him out there. Okay, fair
The
enough.
other,
Now, two things.
sorry, go
Two
ahead.
things. There's another thing, real quick, and then I'll let you say. There was a theory of the brain pretty much grew in size over a small period of time. Scientists are baffled by it. They can't explain it. I'm going to try to explain it. Our jaws used to, if you look at pictures of our prehistoric selves, our jaws were big as shit. They were huge. And the reason why they were so big is because back in the day, we never knew we didn't cook food, okay? We had to eat it raw, pretty much. We had to eat a bunch of shit, big things raw, okay? So we needed a big jaw to cut through that,
Still should.
a strong, powerful jaw to cut through these foods we had to eat, this big meat. Once a human figured out we could start cooking this shit, the need for the big, powerful, it became chewier, it became easier to eat. So the jaw shrunk in size, allowing more room for the brain, and the brain grew. That's one theory. Here's another theory. Everyone knows about psychedelic mushrooms. Everyone knows the impacts they have on the brain and on consciousness.
We've talked about this, though, this exact theory that you're about to
It's
say.
called the stoned ape theory, pretty popular now. Pretty much discovered by this psychedelic man named Terrence McKenna. And basically, what he found out, his theory is that these guys, these prehistoric cavemen or whoever the fuck this was, Neopotins or what, Neanderthals, they would travel around and they would just eat plants and mushrooms and shit. And one day there were psychedelic mushrooms on the ground. And the pretty much guy ate them. He ate the mushrooms like he would eat any mushroom. Like some mushrooms were good. You didn't know. It was trial and error. So he ate that, and then boom, a caveman popping that shit is powerful. And he was eating like 30 fucking grams of that. He gave it to his people, and that started the idea of language, the idea of the throwing arm and all. It expanded the consciousness pretty much. And from that, the brain grew. Is that true? Who knows? I think it's more likely that the jaw shrunk, the brain grew, because if you look at pictures, of these guys, their jaws are absolutely massive, and then they just keep shrinking as time goes on. So I think that's the more likely.
You're right. The only thing that would make sense is that we were given something that naturally made our brains grow.
Yeah, and you come on this podcast and you're screaming for the idea of ghosts and all this shit. But if your theory is correct that it is evolution, then there could be no ghosts. There could be no supernatural paranormal things.
How is that true? That just
Do you believe in Bigfoot?
That just means we would never die.
Do you believe in Bigfoot?
We'll never fully die. Our conscious would never die, which is
Bigfoot?
true. No, we're not. Listen. In regards to your first theory,
Bigfoot?
there couldn't be a god because God would then have to rule all universes.
Can you answer?
No, I will in a minute. If there's a God, listen, if there's a God, he rules all universes. So
Even Bigfoot.
if he just rules our universe, then that would mean that this is a simulation. But in regards to
I won't
Bigfoot,
subscribe to that theory.
I'm sure Bigfoot's real, but I really don't care.
Thank you for answering.
But here's the thing. Ghosts can be real because nowhere in evolution does it say where we go after we our bodies die, our bodies stop working. That doesn't mean that because if you think about it, my actual belief is that we're all energy and we fill a body, but energy doesn't die.
So this body is basically a vessel for your
This
soul.
body is a vessel for our soul, our energy, our
So why
consciousness.
is it this body? Why did it
But then,
hop on this one?
no idea. But then, listen, our consciousness, our energy doesn't die. It stays around in the form of, I don't know. It could be in the form of anything, but I don't necessarily believe that. Oh, like yeah, you see ghosts the way that we see ghosts, but there's definitely
Here's a question for you.
the power of energy and consciousness lives because there's been plenty of times people have died and their loved ones have had so many signs or things happen to them in those few months after that person dies that it just proves that the energy, I think it really makes sense that the energy would stay around at least for a certain amount of time before it dispels into the universe.
Here's a question I got for you. So if there could be ghosts of people, right? You just said on this podcast publicly that we are pretty much apes. We evolved from apes. So are there ghosts of animal? And an ape is an animal. Are there
Oh,
ghosts of
there are ghosts
animals?
of dogs, bro. There are ghosts of dogs. There are
There are
ghosts.
ghosts of dogs.
Ghosts of dogs. Seen one,
Ghosts
100%.
of hippos?
When my dog passed away,
Are there hippo ghosts?
there's we all have the same energy. Is what you got to understand.
So there
All
are
our
hippo ghosts.
energy, once it's out of the vessel, is equivalent.
So there are hippo
So
ghosts.
there are hippo ghosts, but if they were to be in a human, they would be just as advanced as we are.
What if we die and then we
Put
become
into,
a new
they're put
animal
into a
every time?
hippo, so they can't express anything.
Can we become? Is it possible that we become a new animal every time?
Yeah, I believe in the reincarnation. It's
So
possible.
we could become like a fly, a
No
lizard,
choice though. Yeah, no choice though. You don't have a choice in that.
but it just keeps happening.
Yeah, maybe because there's a lot of times that people believe that they believe in past lives where you've been to these places. You go to a place and it's like, holy shit, I've been here, but you've never
I
been there in
think
your life.
so.
Or
Socrates, I know what you're saying. Socrates did an experiment, and he wanted to see if what we know is passed down through our DNA and shit. So he got this guy, this kid, right, who didn't know about math or anything, and he asked him just a bunch of questions. Really, I don't really remember exactly what happened, but he asked him these questions based on this square, and he told him to do it, and the kid was able to do it. So he was trying to prove that basically what we know is passed down, and it's not whatever you call it. Because listen to this, animals, it's all instinct, man. A cat, a big cat like a panther, if ever you turn your back, he will always go and attack you. It's just what he's built to do. We have these instincts built within us. Is that from passed down, or is it just the way the brain works? That's probably just the way the brain works. We say we're all different. Are we? I feel like we're all kind of the same because our brains
maybe
always work the same. Like if you take a fucking Xanax, it's going to affect you and you're going to get high from it. Same if I do it. All these chemicals work
no,
on us
that's
the same.
wrong. It's wrong though. That's wrong.
It is. It's not wrong.
Here's
It's
why
not
I'll
wrong.
tell you. No, that is wrong because
You're wrong.
no, I'm going to tell you exactly why you're wrong.
You're wrong.
Certain How come certain people have addictive personalities then, or addictive traits?
Dude,
That has
obviously
to do with
we
that
differ in
has to
some
do.
ways.
No, listen, just listen, bro. That has to do with the wiring of your brain, right? So the wiring of our brain is different because if you think about it, certain people get prescribed certain medicines to help
Yeah.
the imbalance in their brain. So, for example, say I have ADHD and I get prescribed Adderall,
Do
but
you?
someone and I don't get prescribed it, but I have ADHD. But say I get prescribed Adderall, right? Adderall for me, when I did take it in high school, it never got me high, right?
Me
Never
neither.
gave me any sense of high or anything like that. But I have a good friend, you do too, who uses Adderall and it gets him high. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So that's a difference in how it affects that person's brain because they don't actually need it, and it affects them greatly because they actually feel they get high off it, whereas you and I, it makes us almost mute.
It basically makes me content. pretty much. And I was
Well,
thinking,
I hate it.
I don't pop it ever. Like when I
I
take
think
it,
it's horrible for you, bro.
yeah, it's bad for
I
you,
don't
dude.
think it
It's
makes
just
you
like,
content.
well,
I
yeah, if
think
you
it's
have ADHD, you
it,
kind of just have to accept what you are. There's nothing wrong with taking it every
you have
once in a while.
ADHD, you got to figure it out on your own because I think that it in many ways dulls down your creative.
Yeah, actually, ADHD, I would. It's actually good for you, pretty much. Like
Yeah,
it helps.
I would argue that ADHD in a certain degree is good for
But
you
I was
too.
thinking, bro, like,
Makes us more creative, bro. But also think about you don't eat on it, right? You don't want to eat on it.
no, you can't eat
You're very
anything,
bland on it. You don't want to talk much. It's just kind of like you're just going through the day.
dude.
And life should not be that way.
When I take it, I'm thinking like, dude, how does this is like? Is this how normal people like feel? Like they could accomplish anything. Like they could do. You're so locked in, pretty much,
Is
to
that how
whatever.
you feel on it?
Yeah, you're just locked in,
I
man.
never
Like,
felt that way on it, bro. I felt like shit on it. Just
I
like,
just yeah, you feel like shit after, but you just feel
I felt
fucking locked
disgusted
in.
on it. But if you take a mushroom, on the other hand, I think that's a much more beneficial way of treating anything, and you feel a lot more. I think that in life nowadays, oh yeah, you have all these things that you need to focus down and do. But if you can't be yourself and be fidgety and have this wild brain that goes a million different places at once, then why even live on this earth? You need to utilize that brain. So if your brain is like that and your brain goes here, there, everywhere, and you think all these things or your body's moving fidgety, whatever, you need to use all of those things that are happening in your brain, but you need to find a way to store them. You need to find a way to store them and organize them, and then somehow in your brain get them in order and then do them in order of importance. But with Adderall, you just focus on one thing at once. Whereas
Oh
I think
yeah, let me.
if you learn to utilize ADHD to your benefit, you can multitask, you can think outside the box, and you can get a lot further in life. If you look at all these people who are quote unquote billionaires, geniuses, Albert Einstein, are the hated guy that we hate, Zuckerberg, Bezos, all these guys, Musk, there is no way in hell those guys don't have ADHD.
Musk has autism,
Some might have autism. Yeah, I was gonna say
Asperger's.
exactly,
I mean,
exactly.
Asperger's.
Yeah, some might have Asperger's.
Let me tell
Exactly.
the fans this, man. So this friend of mine was hitting me up. There's this girl we both know, and he's trying to hit her up. He's trying to date her, pretty much. And he was basically asking me what to do, like asking me for my advice, like as a friend. And I basically just I told him, and I tell this to everybody: you gotta just be yourself, man. If she don't like you, she don't fucking like you, bro. Because here's the thing: if you could modify your personality a little bit to get a girl you like, or if a girl to get a guy you like, I guess, or a guy to get a guy, we don't
Pathetic. That'd be
discriminate.
pathetic.
I mean, if you could do that and be successful and you start dating it, pretty much it's never going to work out for you because
Because
it's
you're gonna
always going
feel
to end.
like
It's
you
always going to
can't.
end in catastrophe because how long can you hold up that persona
Yeah,
for?
you're gonna feel
You
like
know,
you can't be yourself.
you're
You
going to
need to
feel like you can't be
find.
yourself, and then eventually that persona is going to wear off for you, and then all of a
Yeah,
sudden you're both unhappy, and it always just ends bad. You all got to always be yourself. If she don't like you, she don't fucking like you, man, because you got to just stick with it. If you could find the person who loves you for who you truly are, you're always going to be happy because
yeah,
you could just be who you are.
yeah.
Just be it's just normal.
You need to find an equal and opposite partner who lets you be yourself. If you don't, you're gonna be fucked. Tell
You're
the
going to be
guy
fucked.
that he'll be fucked. That would only be good. That instance would only be good for a
Exactly,
short term
exactly.
type thing. But if you're actually into the girl and she doesn't like you for who you are, then
Too bad. Move on.
it'll never work in the long run. As Kieran said, that would only be good for a one night stand or something like that because it's not a feasible thing. And if it does work out for say 5 years, it'll lead to divorce in the future. You need to have someone
Too
who
many people
who
have
trusts
fake
in you.
personalities, bro. They fake who they are. They try to be someone they're not just to be cool or be whatever, bro. And they will always, 10 out of 10 times, end up with some sort of depression or sadness or some type of mental illness, bro. Because you cannot keep up this fake bullshit, man, forever. Eventually, will it shift to who you actually are? See, we're all shifted by pretty much our friends, the people we spend around. Like you notice, you go to this place and you talk how your friends talk, you behave like they do if you spend a certain amount of time like them. Like Ben Simmons, man, he's been living in America for so long, he's got an American accent. It kind of works that same way when you're around these people. You have to surround yourself, not just let's just say you like this guy because does some bullshit like he's crazy. you got to surround yourself with people who you want to be, people who you respect, because you emulate what they do. We always emulate who we're around. You got to pick and choose who you're around personally, because a lot of people are with the rad people. And if your friends acting like some bullshit, man, just get rid of them. We don't need friends. Look, you'll have one or two, maybe true good friends in your life, man, like your whole entire life. The rest of them are just touch and go. They'll leave you, man. You got to find people in your life that make you proud, or otherwise you'll just be a rapist, man. And let's talk about a rapist right now.
You do 100% have to surround yourself with smart people, maybe smarter people than yourself, even, because you want
Yes,
to
be the dumbest person around yourself.
you want to be able to achieve your biggest hopes and dreams and aspirations, and you're also nothing without your connections, your network, your friends, everyone you know, because you, in many ways in this life, you use the people you know, and the people you know, or the people that know you, may use you to get a job, to get ahead in life, to help open doors for you. You may know someone that I need to know, etc., etc. So it really comes down to who you know. And yeah, and if you're
You
hanging out with
do.
the wrong people, they're never gonna bring you anywhere in life, because they won't end up knowing the right people to achieve greatness.
Let me
Which
ask
is
you this.
ultimately what this pod is here for. It's to achieve greatness. We want all of you out there to achieve greatness. We want to inspire others to take over this world and do what they want, because most people out there, they think, let me go to college, let me go get a job, or maybe let me not go to college, let me go get a job. But you are bred to go into a simple daily job that will never actually help you to achieve the goals and aspirations you once had as a child or growing up. And you get stuck in this constant system and cannot get out. It's very tough once you're 10, 20, 30 years in the system to get out and make the money and the independent money that you once had dreamed of.
Shift gears to this, man. That was a great speech you just had. I loved every second of it. It was honestly inspiring to me and my family. Let's talk about this. Switch gears to a more darker subject, because we've been too happy. There was this guy on that 70s show. He played Hyde. He fucking raped
Which
multiple
one's
women.
Hyde, bro?
Hyde?
The stoner?
The stoner, man.
Oh, no way.
No, that was Bob Marley. Or what the fuck's that guy's name? You know, the big stoner, the most famous stoner, Tommy Chong. I'm not talking about Tommy Chong. I'm talking about his boy, Hyde. And the guy who plays him, is going to jail for a long time because he raped multiple women, and so that's something you can't do. Now, Crane, I know you would never do something like this. And I'm asking to you, why do people rape in the first place? This guy's a fucking star, man. He's a star. He was on a big time TV show. He's got money. He's got movies. Same with Sean Watson. He's a fucking pro. Why do people feel the need to rape women? It's so horrible. It's disgusting. And every woman, being real, should have a fucking gun on them to shoot these guys who try to do this shit, man. You should get one of those or put something on, and don't allow this to happen, because there's guys like this. I don't get it, man. It's a sense of power. What do you want? Why do you have to do this?
Yeah, he's going to jail, it seems, Kieran.
Why do people rape, Grant?
We can never answer those questions either, bro. Most people who rape, I don't know. I feel like you're a product of your environment, right?
Sure.
You're a product of your parents. You're a product of how you grew up. You're a product of everything that you've learned. And in many ways, I would say it's the system. It's the education that
It's not the fucking education, dude.
ultimately leads to people raping. Yeah, no, it has to be, bro. It has to
Did
be.
you know there's a 1 in 5 chance that someone you know has been raped or raped someone?
Yeah, but bro,
Do you think there's
I
someone
really,
we both know that's raped somebody?
do you think it's true every time?
Yeah, I'm
Like,
saying that. I'm saying a true
are you
story.
saying that? Are you saying that there's 1 in 5 person that feels like they've been raped?
No,
Are
that's
you
actually
saying
been raped.
that? Are you saying that there's 1 in 5 people that has to have definitively
Yes,
been
bro.
raped?
Yes. Been raped. Been there,
I,
done that.
I mean, no, I don't know much about that stuff, Kieran. I would say that it has to be a product of parenting. It
I would
has to be
never
a
be able
product.
to fucking rape
No,
somebody,
yeah,
man.
exactly. So that has to do with your morals. That has to do with your parenting. That has to do with what you were brought
Just the
up,
way I'm wired, like it's just
how
so
you were
strange to
brought
me.
up. Some people aren't happy, dude. Some people may have been raped.
I don't even
Some
keep
people
pressing. Like if a bitch ain't into me, bro, I'm not even gonna keep pressing. Like I just don't. I'm not pushy at
I really
all.
don't know. I guess it maybe comes down. I don't know. It comes down to pathetic people, dude. I mean, I really
That's all it
couldn't.
is.
I couldn't tell you. And if you look at these people, I guarantee all of them had a shitty upbringing with shitty parents.
Here's another.
Or
Here's a,
or they were too privileged, like that kid at fucking Stanford who raped that chick. But
who?
like I forget his name, but it was like it was in when we were in high school. He like brutalized her behind the fucking trash can, and then
No means
only got like
no.
he only got like three or 6 months in jail, and he did some horrible shit. But
And with that guy who died on Penn State from hazing.
very rich guy, this guy who did the rape, but I guess he didn't really have a bad childhood. So I really maybe so in
At
that instance, I
Stanford,
would argue it was the fact that he never was told no as a child. His parents
right?
always were able to give him everything.
That
People
might have
always
something to do with it. Kramer just cracked the case.
could have something to do with it.
Dude, we should
In
start a
terms of
segment called
privileged
that.
people
Kramer
rape.
cracks the case.
Yeah, we should
That
do a
sounds
segment.
really good. Like
What were you
I
talking about
bring
the
in like some
hazing?
topics for you to and you crack the case.
Yeah, I could do that every show.
Here's something we're gonna do on this show right
So
now.
tell
We're
us
gonna do
about the
some.
hazing. Tell us about the hazing.
I don't know. There was this guy at Penn
Well,
State who,
so what happened was Penn
you
State
know,
a couple years ago. This kid, he um he was doing hazing rituals, and he I guess was forced to drink a whole bottle, and then I guess he fell down the stairs, and they left him there, and he ultimately died of like I think brain issues or some shit. And
terrible.
the frat, they all got in a lot of trouble. One of the frat leaders actually, tragically so, went to Kieran and I's high school.
Did he?
Yeah, way before us. So they all went to jail. I think they only really got like a year or two in jail, but this kid ultimately
That's all you
died
need.
at the
Here's a
hands of
long time.
hazing. Yeah, they didn't mean to do that, I don't think. I think they probably panicked in the moment and made the wrong decisions instead of just
Brats
coming.
are the biggest losers of all
Oh,
time. I don't know why.
yeah, I'm not a big frat guy. I think it's dumb. I mean, I think hazing in some degree must happen in some degree, but not in the extreme degree, And I think that
From
you
what
should
I
be
knew, from when I knew you, bro, I feel
uh,
like from when I knew you back in the day, I feel like house money would have been on that. You would have been a frat guy. You seem like that type of guy.
and then I never was.
Did you want to be?
Well, when I in maybe my junior year, but come my senior year, my mentality changed.
I feel you, bro. All right, let's switch gears to
Matured a
this.
little, don't really care about the fraternity life. I also look at those guys right now, and they're all out there getting fucked up, hanging out with their boys still, just like getting hammered and really making no progress in the professional space. And
I
the
understand.
sooner you can mature in your mental, the sooner you can focus on what you want. And many people say it takes 5 to 10 to 15 years to actually achieve what you want. From the start of you having that in your brain to you putting in the work every day, doing the things to achieve your goals. But if you don't start that till you're 24 and you're graduated, 26, you're graduated, you're already behind the curve.
Well said, brother. All right, let's get into some trivia topics, fans. We have come up with a cool name for this segment. It's called trivia. I don't know what to call it. What do we call it, Cram? What you got? Anything for this?
No,
A great
time
trivia.
trivia time.
Trivia time, TT baby. All right, Crane. I got a 5 minute, 1 minute timer here, and when the timer starts, I'll let you know. And I have 5 questions here. They should be easy questions, and
Mine are easier this time.
we're gonna get rolling. Ready?
Yep.
And go. Spell Chihuahua.
CHIHUAHUA.
Correct. What are the two
Wow.
planets next to Earth?
Oh, I'm not gonna get this at all. Mars and Venus.
Correct.
Wow.
Who was George Bush's vice president?
Fuck.
The second Bush.
Yeah, Bush.
You could pass and come back to it.
Pass.
Who are the founding fathers? Name two of the founding fathers.
Fuck.
Two.
Jefferson.
Okay.
and fuck is that fucker's name? What is his name, bro?
5 seconds.
Lincoln.
Name 3 phases of the moon. 1 phase, I'll give it to you. Time's up. Kramer, you took too long, bro. You took way too long.
Bro, what? I don't even know what the fucking. I said Jefferson, and the other guy I was thinking of.
You said Lincoln.
Yeah, but you know who I was thinking of, right?
You couldn't think of George Washington.
No, I was thinking of the Liberty Bell guy, Ben Franklin.
He was
that
one. Washington, Thomas Jefferson, John Adams, Ben Franklin, Alexander Hamilton,
I'm
John
a
Jay.
fucking idiot. I was thinking Ben Franklin. I kept trying to get it in my head, and I just at one point I just had to blurt out something. And then I don't care about the moon phases.
George Bush's vice president's name was Dick Cheney.
Damn. All right. Well,
3 phases of the moon. It's like waxing gibbous.
Can you time yourself, Kieran?
Huh?
Time yourself.
Oh, you have questions for me?
Yeah, you got to time yourself, though.
All right, I'm ready.
All right.
Tell me when to start. Yeah.
Start. Area 51 is located in which U.S. state?
Nevada.
When did Facebook launch?
2009.
What sports do the Globetrotters play?
Basketball.
What's America's pastime?
Baseball.
Which movie is known for the famous quote, "Yo, Adrian"?
Ooh, I have absolutely no idea. I'm just gonna take a minute because I have 30 seconds. I'm not looking it up. I swear, my eyes are here. My phone is here. I'm gonna keep my phone up so fans don't know, but I will take my time. Adrian.
This is the last one, right?
Yep. So I have time for this.
And you've gotten 3.
I got one wrong. I got Facebook wrong. Well, Adrian, is it a Tarantino movie?
I couldn't tell you that. It's a famous movie, though. You know, you gotta know it.
I don't know.
Adrian. Yo, Adrian.
I'm gonna guess Pulp Fiction. Fuck.
Rocky.
Rocky? Oh, I've never seen Rocky, actually. It's a Philadelphia guy, which is sad. What year did Facebook launch? 2010, probably.
2004.
2004? Are you fucking serious?
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
That's wild to me. All right, so Cram got
You
2
were
out of 5.
only 4 years old. To put it in perspective for the fans, I was 4 years old at that time. Kieran was 3.
Well, what month did it drop?
Who knows? Didn't see all that.
Well, if it dropped after June 18th of 2001, then I was 3. All right.
Otherwise, you were 2?
Speaking of Zuckerberg and Fate, otherwise I was 2. The first thing I remember, I think, what's the first thing you remember, Kramer? Because the first thing I remember is...
because if you think about it, bro, the movie didn't come out for a while, because the movie came out when we were at least in middle school, because I remember it. The Social Network.
Well, I never seen that.
Movie about Zuckerberg.
No, not about Facebook. I'm saying, what do you remember, like your first ever memory?
Oh, I couldn't tell you that, bro.
I kind of remember when I was like maybe 3 at Disney World, maybe. I remember when I was 4 turning 5. I remember in preschool a little bit.
I remember 5. I remember 5. I remember 4. I have weird memories sometimes, you know? But that's weird to think about. It's sad that we can't think of everything that happened in our life, right? What if we could remember every single detail of what happened, you know?
That'd be cool. But it's just not possible. Like never
Why?
will
What
be.
happens? Why do we forget half of our
We just
life?
do. Like we don't have enough. Like it's called pretty much retentive. I can't remember the name of it. Something. This I don't know. But it's something we forget. Pretty much, we filter shit out. That's not important.
You would say that we don't have the capacity to remember everything.
Well, we don't. No, I mean we can. We can remember what we want. We have a lot of like storage up here, so we could pretty much remember whatever we want. But it's basically
similar to a hard drive.
It's pretty much a hard drive. Like we pretty much. It's just like our brain. If our brain deems it unnecessary, it's not going to remember it. Like there's certain shit you can remember, but like there's most shit the brain just discards it.
Speaking of Zuckerberg, Facebook,
The Metaverse.
Let's talk about the Metaverse and how it's a complete sham, shit show, and Zuckerberg is gonna pull the plug, as well as he's just a loser. Twitter's going to Elon, huge, gonna help us out with Twitter bots. But tell us about the Metaverse, Kieran.
It's basically on the shutting down. It's such a horrible, complete disaster. Zuckerberg's losing so much money. His company's a failure, and I don't know what he's trying to do. You know he's got some evil grand scheme going on with this Metaverse shit. Like, he's trying to put us in this alternate reality. We talked about this on the last episode. Like, you can't do anything in there. Like, okay, maybe we'll be cool for like an hour, but the real life, your body is key. This shit is not key. It's not useful. It's not anything. It doesn't exist. It's a fake world. Like, what the fuck are we gonna do in there, man? It's never gonna
So
work. So
you think
it's
that
never gonna
you
work.
think cryptocurrency is a dead dream?
Crypto is so beyond dead. It doesn't do anything, man. The
Agreed.
only
Crypto is
thing it's
beyond
good
dead.
for is buying fucking drugs from the dark web so it can't be traced. You
The
can't
best thing
use
that you
crypto
can
for
do, the
anything.
best thing that you can do in our lifetime is make as much cash as you can, as much cold hard money,
Liquidity.
liquid assets. If
Liquid
you can,
assets,
you
baby.
want liquid assets. You want to be able to fucking take out your checkbook and write $1 million check. You want
Well,
liquid assets.
they're trying to make it so cash. Like you go to any sports arena and you can't use cash anymore. It's all credit. And I
So
guess
dumb.
they don't want
So
people to
dumb.
use to like give change and shit. It could be
But here's what the
fraudulent.
people need to know: cash is king. And if you can make, if you
Cash is
were to tell
king.
me, if you were to tell me you hit the lottery just now, you won the big Mega Millions, 400 million, you got 300 million after whatever. I think it was 600. You got 300 million after taxes. What I would tell you to do is keep 100 million. Okay, keep it. That's yours. That's your 100 million. Take 200 million.
Or
Throw
why are
it
you
in an
talking about a scenario that would never
throw
happen?
it
Winning a six
throw it
hundred
in an
million
IRA.
lottery.
All right. Well, if you were to even get, say you make it, you strike it big. You
No
get
one's
10
ever
million.
gonna win the lottery that listens to this.
All right. So anyone on here strikes it big. Their company's big. You get 10 million. You get millions. You got millions coming in. You get an offshore bank account. You get an IRA. You
Can't
put
do that
aside
anymore.
money and you let it grow because soon enough, yeah, obviously we see, as Kieran said, they're trying to minimize the use of the dollar and start making you use digital forms of payment and all these weird things, which was
Part of China's scheme.
which was brought up with the introduction of COVID-19. So
Trust me, if they get out of it
COVID-19,
their way, no
everything
one's
in
gonna.
this world right now goes back to COVID-19, it seems. COVID-19, big grand scheme. Everyone seems to think the vaccine may be sketchy. Who knows, right? But are we even thinking about what they did to the dollar during
First of all,
COVID-19?
don't say it's sketchy. The thing's a complete joke. It's mRNA. It goes into your body. It tells your body to replicate proteins, which is the same thing that cancer does. You're going to see nothing but cancer spikes from the last 20 years. Everyone's pretty much going to die of cancer. Cancer
Holy
is
shit.
unstoppable
Oh my
machine.
God, you're the smartest guy ever. And you know why they did that?
Why?
They did that because cancer makes so much money and they can't cure cancer. They can't afford to cure cancer with the debt that our country's in. So why not make it more than it even already is by giving these people this vaccine, which is pure cancer, liquid cancer. And I hope that it doesn't happen that way. But if that is what happens,
You can hope all you want.
it's because they want money.
You can hope all you want, brother. It's not going to change anything. We're dead.
Kieran, you're not dead because you don't have the vax. I'm not dead.
Yeah, I don't have it. I'm never getting that shit. My doctor keeps begging me to get it. I'm like,
I
buddy,
won't die,
no.
though. That's the thing. I just won't die.
Dude, it's not even the doctor. It's like this nurse who used to be. It's like I had one nurse that would, you know how the nurse calls you in and does your weight and shit, and then the doctor comes in like 5 minutes later.
Yeah.
I had a nice nurse who wouldn't pressure me at all to get the vaccine. Now this new bitch is coming in here just begging me to get it and trying to force me. I'm like, no, I'm not getting
What'd
it.
you tell her? What'd you tell her?
I told her I'm not getting it, and there's nothing you can do about it.
You basically told her to shut up, right?
I told that bitch to shut the fuck up, and how about
Exactly.
you get it, bitch? You get another dose.
Exactly. Me and
Don't get
Kieran, we're
listen.
out
If
here
you're listening to this
preaching.
show,
Me and Kieran, we're out here preaching natural lifestyle. We're out here
look,
preaching what we need to do to survive and thrive in this world.
you could call it vaccine disinformation and tag our video, YouTube, but you got to take a look at this facts. I'm not telling anyone to not get it. If you feel like you want to get that and that's how you're safe, go and get it. I'm telling you, I haven't gotten it based on my personal opinion. Don't listen to my opinion. Do whatever your opinion is. And with all that being said, thanks for listening to the SFS podcast. I got to run. We've hit our time limit. We've had a great time on this pod. Kramer really dropped some gems, man. Go listen to Kramer. Show some love to him. He was popping off on this episode. Listen to this shit because he's smart. He'll tell you pretty much the keys of life, and he dropped a lot of them here. And basically, that's all we want to do on this pod. So leave a like, leave a sub. If you're on Apple or Spotify or anything else, leave a download. It helps out the pod more than you know. If you like what we've given you, we don't ask for money, any of that, no Patreon, none of that bullshit. So the least you can do is drop a like and a sub. It's free. You can do it and sub at any time. Thank you for listening.
I think
We're out of
something
here.
up and
Peace.
divine. Had to go back and check in the check I collect. Had to go get my respect. Respect isn't given a turn. Yo ass wanna bet. Try to for whip my dog. I tell my dog, I'll send your ass to the vet. I'm a real guy, ass I Philly. I was just flipping the pack right outside the vet. Okay, maybe don't go back that far. I break the law. No one's accountable on God. I had to ride on the wave. It's like, nah, I made. I just like made the wave I create. Gotta go fuck you little bitch out of space. If you gon' play, send your ass to the grave. I'm just a guy who be doing it.